What's up guys and welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy the Middle Aged Gamer and this is the Limcat Customs 4.3 Battlecat Gas Blowback Hi-capa pistol manufactured by Army Armament Review. Now, before we jump into this awesome product, usual disclosures ahead. This is an airsoft toy, this is not a real firearm and there are no real firearms in this video or in any of my videos. I bought this with my own money and these are my own opinions based off my own experiences with this airsoft toy. Now, with that out the way, let's jump in. Okay, so let's start by asking the question, what is Limcat Customs? Well, Limcat Customs are a high-end manufacturer of real steel race guns, manufacturing pistols, shotguns, and rifles, and have just released a race gun AK. If you're interested, you can look at their website. But yeah, they are an absolute beast of a race gun manufacturer out there, equal to Terran Tactical Innovations, and take a lot of inspirations from them, but other products as well. Now, in Airsoft, they have dabbled with licensing slides here and there, and there are thousands of copies, clones, and so on of the Limcat designs. All satellite slides are starting around about £80 and go anywhere up to a couple of £100 depending on what model, cut, etc. Now, this review came about because the other day I was looking through the internet and I noticed that pistols were getting a bit too expensive. And you're talking around £220 all the way up to £300 plus, depending on the actual pistol of choice. VFC, for instance, released the X-Carry at £200 here in the UK. Or if you want the new PT26 Mark 25, it's anywhere from £220 to £250, depending on your retailer of choice here. And to be honest, I think that's a bit of a joke, especially now that, I'd say, the world is still recovering at the time of this recording, economic crises and so on. So I set about browsing the internet and trying to find a pistol that would meet the requirements of both either the new airsofter out there or the one that's got a nice collection and just wants to expand it with really cool pistols that are reliable and not going to break on you. And that's what led me to this. So, with that long introduction out of the way, let's get into this awesome Hi-capa. So, we'll remove the stand. So, we start with the magazine. As you can see, this is a standard Hi-capa 32 round magazine based off of a Marui. Why do I say that? Well, here is a Marui side by side. As you can see, pretty much the exact same thing. The only thing missing is on the Marui you have restricted for law enforcement, but as police officers don't use Hi-capas, they're Glock boys and SIGs and so on nowadays. You don't really need that on there anyway, it's a bit OTT. Now, as for everything else, the knocker valve, apart from color, is basically the same. The, gas seal is the same. The feed lips are the same. They are fully interchangeable. You can use either one of them and they all fit. It's basically the same thing. So that's kind of cool. Now, of course, you do have your modernized base plate at the bottom. There is no markings. It's a standard one, but I do like these. Gives you just enough lip that when it's in the gun and you need to get it out, you can get your fingers on there and pull it out if it ever got jammed in there for whatever reason. Now, with the magazine out, you can see nothing in the chamber, so that's fine. Now, you do have your very large inflared magwell, which is really good. A la TTI design, proper race gun. It's quite nice. And then we get to the grip itself. Now the grip features what I like to call the golf ball texturing on there. You've got these little dimples all the way around it that are really nice. It's grippy enough that with a hand, like I've got mine without gloves, you can grip it, you can shoot it, it feels comfortable, it doesn't eat your hand. Unlike the Terran Tactical ones lately that come with like sandpaper that cut your hand after a while if you're not wearing gloves. This one does very well. Now, of course, if you have got gloves, it's still just as grippy, which is kind of cool. Now, moving on up, we do come to our extended beaver tail. As you can see here, it's a lovely cut, very high purchase on there. It's very nice. but they've deleted the grip safety. It doesn't work, which is, again, another benefit for you shooters out there, because if you didn't hold the proper grip, say you left just a little bit of room there, you were limp wristing it, whatever, you wouldn't engage that, and then you couldn't fire the gun and you get shot. And as that happens a lot in airsoft, having that deleted, just like in the real steel, is an absolute awesome beast. Your magazine catch is really cool as well. If you can notice, there's a angled cut to it. It's extended outwards, but also, how to say, cut at an angle so that your thumb rests naturally at an angle on it, and you can just push in very easy. It's not like you have to angle your thumb directly 90 degrees and push in. You can just rest it and drop it free, allowing for faster reloads, etc. Now, moving up here, you do have your cut out into the trigger guard to allow for a higher purchase as well, to match the beaver tail. And you do get your lovely, what they call by Army Armament as a match trigger. It is basically a skeletonized metal trigger that's really nice. So if I rack it, you do have like a 1mm take up, a millimeter to the break, and a millimeter of over travel on it. You reset, 1mm, 2mm, right to the wall again, and a quick break. So you've got a really good race trigger there. Moving up again even further, you have your nice, positive, ambidextrous slide stop, how do you say, or safety, which is really good. They're not the extended ones that you see on many race guns. They are just your standard profile, which is really good. You get your skeletonized hammer, again, really, really good. And you have the same, how would you say, takedown lever, or if you want to call it the slide stop. You go up here, lock that in. That's on the Sand Viper. Now, unlike the Sand Viper, which only comes with one notch, the Battlecat from Limcat Customs comes with two notches cut into the rail segment here, and all this is metal. This whole rail and insert is all metal, which is really, really good for durability and reliability. Now, moving up to markings, you have the Limcat Custom badge up here, Limcat written here, and you have the caliber 9x9mm right here. The serrations are really, really deep, which are nice, but have been rounded off on the edges so that it's not going to eat your hand as you charge the slide, which is really good. You do have some up front for press checks, and you have these lovely lightning cutouts here at the front. Now, speaking of the front, you can see here you have this, what would look like a threaded muzzle. It is, but it is internal threads. So as you can see, this little device comes on. If you buy this in America, you'll probably have this as an orange tip, but on here, it's quite decent enough as is. But that allows you to run your, how to say, little pistol tracers and so on. Usually when you buy one, you get the adapter free with the tracer anyway for a decent one. So that's kind of good. Now, let's flip it around. As you can see, you get the H-bar logo here. Everything in serration-wise is all mirrored. H-bar stands for heavy barrel, or the bull barrel that comes with it, which is quite good. You get the Battlecat name of the pistol, 9x19 engraved onto the metal outer barrel, and your Limcat custom logo again. As you can see, I've used mine quite well with some markings here because I've been really running this as a, how to say, primary and secondary. It's been absolutely amazing. Now, sight-wise, you have a front sight and your rear sight. As you can see, the rear sight is basically a copy or a clone of a Novak sight. So if you've ever owned an M45, you'll know what I mean. Instead of having Novak written there, it doesn't. It just has the screw there. But the sights are the same. You even have the recess for the white dots on the front and rear, but they're not there. Now, that's great. I don't mind it not having a licensed Novak sight on there, and it's a clone, because to be honest with you, that keeps the cost down for you guys. So, with that being said, let's go and shoot this thing. Okay, I'm using .2 gram BBs and green gas with the Battlecat. Okay, Let's have a look at what we got as an average there. So, average of 292 feet per second out the box with quite a lot. A maximum of 298.1, low 287.6. That's not bad. Okay, so let's do a grouping test with the Limcat 4.3 Battlecat. This is going to be cool. Ten shots on target. That's 6 inches by 6 from 10 meters. I see you're looking a good 2.5, 3 inches tops. Not bad. Okay guys, let's take on the Texas style. Let's step it back to 10 meters again and let's see what we can do. Slow it down. Slow it down. Too soon. Gotcha. Oh. Gotcha. Still got plenty left, just in case. Slowing it down, slowing it down. Gotcha. Well, a few rounds, but when it was lined up, bang on. Okay, so now that we've got the shooting out of the way, let's just take another quick gander at the results here. As you can see for the grouping test, let's go for the widest point. You're looking at, call it just under 2.5 here, or if I was going to go down from there, it's again 2.5. Let's be generous and call it a 2.5 inch grouping at 10 meters and 300 FPS at 0 to -1 degree Celsius outdoors, because we're filming now at winter. It was absolutely awesome, and you still get a great big kick, as you would say, out of it. It's a really satisfying recoil impulse. So, with all that said, if you've gotten this far in the video and you like what you see and you're subscribed, a huge thank you. If you're not, hit that subscribe bell. You really will be helping out this channel a lot. Just doing that's completely free. And while you're there, hit the like and notification bell. That way you're notified for all the latest videos I upload. Some cool stuff. Now, of course, if you do want to go one step further, it's completely up to you. But there is the YouTube thanks on there. That does work. And it is basically like buy me a coffee and other formats out there, but YouTube's own. It just allows you to directly, finance this awesome channel going forward if you wish to do so with donations. It's completely up to you. I don't like harping about that, but it is there. Now, with that being said, let's jump in. Okay, let's start with the frame itself. So, I know you guys are going to say it, you want to know it. Basically, you'll really will want to know which is metal, steel, and so on. That is metal, it's not steel. It is a aluminum actual frame on there, as you can see. The sears are aluminum, and the hammer is aluminum. The screws that hold it together, the screw on here, and I can tell you that, yep, the firing pin is aluminum. Basically, it's alloys and aluminum internally, which is really great because at the end of the day, it is coming in at a cheap price. Don't forget, this is retailing really affordable. Now, at the same website I bought this from, High Pressure Airsoft, you will be able to find the full steel, hammer and spring. That will set you back $12.99. So if you want that, you can do it. It's a drop-in part. It's quite easy enough for those that know what they're doing. So that's entirely up to you. Now, other than that, it's a bog standard Marui spec frame from Army Armament, and it does the job very well. Now, From there, let's move on to the guide rod. Like I say, don't take this as, I would say, a salty or anything like that, but not everything has to be steel, but that is steel. And it has a recoil buffer pad right there. It's great for it. Your spring is steel. That's important, so that is great to be steel. The others really aren't. They're just there to do their job. And like I say, you got to imagine these companies spent millions on research, development. They know what parts they can get away with, what's not. It's only when we come into the fray and want to change things and upgrade it with parts that were not really meant that you start to have issues. Now, next, you do have your inner barrel and bucking unit. It's basically I would say, based off of the Marui. It does use a Marui bucking and a Marui inner barrel. You've got your rotary wheel right there. You do have your metal, let's get the magnet, metal outer barrel. It's lovely. When I got mine, this thing came with a, I would say, clear piece of plastic around with the perforated edge to peel it off. Basically so you can keep it protected, and if you need to test it, you can do without damaging this lovely effect, how would say, the shiny chrome effect on the barrel. As you can see, it is metal, so you do get nice threads in there that are going to last you a while. Your, I would say, little insert to the front that captures the guide rod, that is a polymer piece. This is a aluminum standard metal, how would you say, little slide stop, which is fine. And we do get to the heavy slide itself. It's a nice weight. It is a milled aluminum slide, which is quite nice. It's very rigid. There's no flex. Your blowback system on there is standard. And like I say, with this one, 300 FPS is more than enough in the cold weather. It's very high quality. So yeah, this is absolutely awesome. And like I say, with that, let's put it back together and discuss our final thoughts. Okay, so with that now put back together, this absolute beast of a pistol has just been absolutely amazing. For the price, you can't argue. Currently, it retails for $107.99 at High Pressure Airsoft and is on sale for the Christmas period. So yeah, it's an absolute bargain. As a stocking filler for Christmas or a second birthday present or something like that, it's a low cost for the loved ones. And if you're new to the airsoft, this is an absolute amazing first pick, especially saving yourself some money to going out there, buying yourself a Tokyo Marui Gold match at 180 to 190 pounds, and then spending another 150 pounds on parts to upgrade the slide and everything else. With this, you get a really good gun out of the box. It's going to perform. It's going to last you while you get into airsoft and you start finding your feet at your local site. After that, it's up to you. But for me, this is an absolute awesome piece of kit, and I'm glad to have this in my collection. So that's where I really feel on this pistol. I think it's an absolute awesome piece of kit. I don't think it's out the place. I don't think it's a bit too much. I think it's just right. Now, if you don't like the black and you do want a pinky purple, they do that with a silver and purple finish, where the grips, the slide, and that are all purple, and the rest accents like the magwell and everything else are all silver. Again, High Pressure Airsoft have got your back, and they'll help you out no problem whatsoever. So really good option, really good and affordable pistol, and definitely worth your money. I would love to know down in the comments below what you think to this, whether you think it's a really nice looking pistol, or would you go for something else? What would you like to see on the channel? Again, the comments are there for you guys to let me know, and so let's discuss there. With that being said, I've been the Middle Aged Gamer. You guys have been absolutely amazing, and I'll see you in the next one.